Hello, everyone. My name is David Delano, one of the writers and handicappers with winnersandwhiners.com. We're going to get into your free college football pick for Saturday, November 5th, in just a moment. Before we get started, this video is brought to you guys by No House Advantage, which is fantasy sports redefined. Link is in the description. Make sure to use the promo code WNW. You can get a deposit bonus of up to $50 with No House Advantage. Speaking of No House Advantage, and speaking of promo codes, we do have a promo code with Winners and Whiners, HPKRVT40. Link is in the description. Don't like to be the sales guy on here, but we do work very hard on this. You could use that promo for 40% off on my top plays. Long term or short term, you can use it on another capper. There's definitely, as well as there are going to be a lot of picks going on this week. We had two best bets on Thursday. One in the NBA, as we had the Orlando Magic covering against Golden State, even though they did win outright. And we also had over in the game between Rice and UTEP. We did drop a other play that we had, which was on Appalachian State, but we did have a profitable Thursday. Friday's results are still pending here. I do have my college football 3-pack over there on the site, which includes my best bet in college football. So I've got 2 free picks, one included in this video here, and then also have my 3-pack for college football. Let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to try to keep this very concise because this is one of those games. There's a lot of thoughts. There's a lot of opinions about it. Could go on for 30 minutes, but I'm going to try to just keep it very, very short. Now, one thing that I do not do often, and I know people like to hear about it, is I tend to stay away from, when I can, stay away from the big games that are being the most heavily bet on, especially when there's where the public is mostly very heavily on one side of a highly bet game, and especially if I'm also leaning towards that same side. Sometimes that's a stay away from me here. But you can't be a robot, and I don't want to talk about Hawaii and Wyoming every week, right? So let's talk about this game between number 1 and number 3, Tennessee traveling to Georgia in the SEC. Now, looking at this game here, one of the things about this game, and I saw this tweeted by BetMGM, and I'm very, very aware of this. BetMGM have tweeted, they said that 87% of the tickets and 89% of the handle is on Tennessee plus 8, and that 97% of the tickets and 96% of the handle is on Tennessee money line. A lot of people may say that instantly, be like, fade the public. But you can't be a robot. You still got to look at these games. Now, what I'm seeing, that's from BetMGM. When I actually look at a site that I use, I'm showing that 65% of the cash and 76% of the tickets are on Tennessee, which is still pretty prevalent. But even though it was not quite as high, when Tennessee played Alabama as an underdog, they won that game outright. 55% of the cash and 68% of the tickets were on Tennessee. So Tennessee was also a public side in that game, public side in this game. And, a lot of times, like I said, you could just be thinking, let's fade the public on this. But when I initially looked at this game, I liked Tennessee off my first glance. When I researched it some more, I liked Tennessee. From the eye test of what I've seen, I like Tennessee. What I don't like about Tennessee is when I start to see how much the money is so heavily on one side. But they play the games on the field. Sometimes you wonder, could there be funny business going on? But I'm going to take Tennessee. I think at this number, at plus 8.5, Tennessee is the right side here. If you're thinking just blindly fade the public, I mean, if Tennessee was only a 7-point dog and everybody was on Georgia, would you feel better about it? Both of these teams are outstanding football teams. Now, you can only play who's in front of you, but Tennessee has played a significantly better schedule so far. Looking at the ESPN Power Index, you've got Tennessee's strength of schedule is 18th. Georgia's is 75th. You do have Georgia's number 1 in defensive efficiency. Tennessee's number 3 in offensive efficiency. Both of these teams move the ball very, very well. But one thing here couple things right now that I'm really looking at. When you look at yards per pass attempt, right now Tennessee is second in the nation. Georgia is 10th, but Tennessee is averaging more than 2 yards better per pass attempt than Georgia is. That's also against better competition. Another thing here, Tennessee right now 28th in the nation in sacks. Georgia 117th in the nation in sacks. Georgia has not been good pressure on the quarterback. Now another thing here is they're also missing their top pass rusher, Nolan Smith, who's out for this game. Georgia only has 10 sacks of the season. Smith has 3 of those sacks. They're missing 30% of their sack production here. You got a quarterback, Hendon Hooker. I've got to give the edge to Tennessee with the quarterback edge. And the way I look at this game, if one team gets off to a slow start, let's say Tennessee gets off to a 14-0 start or Georgia gets off to a 14-0 start, or at some point a team finds themselves down 14. With the 8.5, you just need a touchdown from Tennessee and we're covering. If Georgia falls behind in this game, it's a very, very big uphill battle for them to cover this spread. And I think that Tennessee can win this game outright. Not saying that they will, but they can. I think that this game should be decided by less than a touchdown on either side. And I like the firepower of Tennessee if they fall behind. If both teams were to fall behind, I think that Tennessee can come back from a deficit. Let's say they fall behind 2 or 3 touchdowns. I think Tennessee can come back and still cover. Georgia, if they fall behind, I don't see them coming back and covering, not the 8.5. I've got to go ahead and, I'm riding with the public on this one, on a high-profile game, but can't be robots. We're going with the Tennessee Volunteers plus 8.5. That is going to be my pick here. Let me know what you guys like in this game. Let me know what you guys like overall. Also going to have another free college football pick for you guys going in another video. God bless everybody. Good luck on whatever you're playing.